Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. So let's talk about the May 11th edition of Monday Night Raw and what it means moving forward. Now, we got the same kind of ending as we got the last couple weeks with Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns, even though at Backlash, Jacob Fatu lost, but was standing tall over Roman Reigns. And then a couple days later on Monday Night Raw, he goes nuts again, beats up the Usos, beats up Roman Reigns. But we got the same exact ending. So I'm not really sure where this storyline is going. At some point, they're going to have to actually put the title on Jacob Fatu, or all of this sort of bloodline civil war drama seems pointless. Also, I don't know if the crowd was super into everything that was happening, but they were reacting at some point. They were really good about 80% of the show, let's say. I thought the Oba Femi Open Challenge was a complete fail. I just don't understand that. Like, have someone he can wrestle. Bring someone out that he can wrestle. Find someone anywhere who's large, who's big, who has a presence, who can actually make Oba Femi bigger than what he is. Because right now, Oba Femi, in my opinion, is losing steam. He just beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. He is one of the most over talents on the roster, regardless of how long he's been there. People absolutely love his music, his walk, his strut, his moveset. It needs to be capitalized on now, not sending out random things about an open challenge and this and that. And also then the open challenge, basically, you see him every single week, so maybe he runs out of steam and runs out of flavor when the open challenge really wasn't doing anything. There needs to be some creative push that gives Oba Femi the boost and the trajectory he needs so he doesn't lose this steam as becoming one of the best that WWE has to offer, similar to a Braun Breaker or potentially a Trick Williams. But I'm very high on Braun Breaker and very high on Oba Femi, as I think those guys are actually going to main event WrestleManias and be the future of WWE. So they have to do a better job with Oba. So hopefully next week on Monday Night Raw, they do so. And it just felt like there was no real direction coming out of Backlash. And so hopefully the creative team kind of picks it up. But it was a little bit boring. It was a little bit boring. The one thing that did stand out to me that I would like to critique is Sol Ruca. So Sol Ruca reminds me a lot of Javon Evans in terms of immense athleticism, very cool moveset, kind of seem like very cool people, like the way their ring attire is very stylish and hip and fits sort of their unique flavor of who they are, which is all awesome. But the problem with Sol Ruca and with Javon Evans is all of the stuff in between their actual cool moves is just not very crisp. Anticipation, the way they move, the way they throw a strike when someone ducks, the way they go to grab someone when they're going to move, just the instinct to try and make it look a little bit more legit rather than, okay, this is what we're going to do here, and now I'm going to this next. Okay, then I'm going to do my handstand. All right, here's where I do my sweep move. You can see all of that processing in their brain. Now, Sol Ruca has not been wrestling for very long. I think Michael Cole said 4 years, which is a very short amount of time. But that really doesn't mean anything to me if WWE was high on her enough to put her on Monday Night Raw against the best women's wrestler that WWE has to offer in Io Sky. And so there has to be some version of Sol Ruca that can pick it the fuck up. Because I don't really care that she can do a backflip and a handstand and a corkscrew thing, moonsault. I need something to look legit in between those moves. The way she goes to grab Io, the way she goes through the ropes, the way she kicks when Io misses. Like, all that stuff looks so slow and contrived and just like not like she's actually doing it. She's just going through that motion so that she can eventually get to the move that she thinks is going to be cool and get a good reaction. Now, the crowd obviously reacted well to Sol Ruca, which is great, but I think the same thing is happening with Javon Evans. For a very long time, Javon Evans could not throw a punch that was good. He worked on it. I've noted that on this show, but still his in-between moments need to be better. And that's really where you capture the fans. Yes, the cool moves are going to draw them into looking at you, but it's everything in between, the way you sell, the way you emote, the way you move, the way you make things look legit will be actually the way that fans really invest in you over the long period of time. And Sol Ruca and specifically Javon Evans as well have to get better at that if they're going to be the future of Monday Night Raw, which is very important. And speaking of Io Sky and Asuka, it kind of genuinely even after Backlash on Monday Night Raw, it kind of felt like a send-off, right? Asuka hugs Io Sky backstage, tells her she's ready to take over her position, yeah, all these types of things. Io says goodbye and watches Asuka walk out the door. You know, maybe this is just Asuka taking some time away. Maybe TKO asked her to take a pay cut. We have no idea. And maybe she'll return later after, she figures some stuff out. Or legit, that was really the last time that we are going to see Asuka on Raw. Asuka is one of the best to ever do it. When I'm talking about looking crisp and striking with execution and knowing what to do in the in-between moments, that is Asuka down to a T. But, so, again, it could be just her, we see her later, it could be some TKO pay cuts, or it could be her just being done with WWE and saying, that's enough. I had my last match with my best friend, Io Sky. I'm passing the reins off to her. I'm done. Only time will tell, right? For sure, obviously. But if that was really, truly her final appearance, she'll obviously be missed. She's one of the best to ever do it. Thank you, Asuka. And I hope you find the happiness and the fulfillment that you were looking for wherever you find it. And so I think that's important as well. Then, of course, we just saw the Io Sky and Sol Ruka match, which I just commented on that. And then the end of Monday Night Raw, which I briefly stated there at the beginning, was kind of the same ending we've seen over and over again. Backlash ended. Jacob Fatu standing tall. This was supposed to be, Jacob Fatu acknowledging Roman Reigns. That didn't happen. He goes nuts. He beats up everyone. And now Jacob Fatu again is standing tall to end another episode of Monday Night Raw. And it kind of just feels like WWE doesn't know what to do. And it's maybe starting to spin its wheels with Jacob Fatu versus the Bloodline, because the same ending keeps happening over and over again. Every week, Jacob comes out at the end of Monday Night Raw and stands tall over Roman Reigns and the Usos. It's nice to see Jacob look dominant. He is a dominant force. Some people think he's a mid-carder. Some people think he's a main eventer. I think you put the strap on him, don't know when, and see what happens. See how merch sales do and ticket sales do and how he does and fan reactions and crowd reactions, and see how it goes. You did the Jey Uso experiment. That was a tank. I think the Jacob Fatu experiment will be much better than that, because Jacob Fatu actually can deliver in main event style matches. And so it's nice to see Jacob look dominant. But there hasn't really been much progression to it, right? Eventually, you have to think that this will lead to Jacob Fatu winning the World Heavyweight Championship, or if it doesn't, a lot of this seems very, 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 very pointless. So I don't know if it happens at the Clash in Italy. I don't know if it happens on a random Monday Night Raw. I don't know where it happens, but it certainly feels like this has to happen, or everything that's happening right now feels pointless. And then that's when maybe Roman Reigns takes his sort of summer vacation that he always takes. But maybe they're trying to have him drop the title, Roman Reigns, before SummerSlam, so we can still get Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. It just won't be for the strap, and then you'll have Jacob Fatu in another match at SummerSlam. Or Jacob Fatu never wins it at the Clash, never wins it, kind of leaves, build him up a little bit, but still don't build him up too much because he never won the actual strap. And then you have the World Heavyweight Championship match, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, SummerSlam Night 2. That could be the direction that they go. But if they continue doing this bloodline drama next week and the week after this and the week after this, they should certainly change the formula. Because Jacob Fatu can't continuously stand over the top of Roman Reigns over and 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 over again with no payoff, and with him basically not winning the world title. So I don't know what's actually going to happen, but I think there can be a more creative way to advance the storyline without it being repetitive like it has been. And so hopefully we get that next week, and then hopefully we get the actual direction that this story is going to go in with the Usos, with Fatu, with Roman Reigns, and where this sort of clash is going to come to a head, potentially in Italy, and potentially where Jacob Fatu actually wins the World Heavyweight Championship. So those are some highlights, critiques, and thoughts from the May 11th edition of Monday Night Raw. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.